In the Georgia legislature, Democrats have introduced a series of measures now to curb police powers over protests over police brutality and excessive force. 11 Live's Doug Richards reports the urgency of the legislation may clash with the clock.
There are only about 9 days left in this much delayed legislative session here at the Capitol. And over the last 2 days, Democrats have introduced a very ambitious package designed at curbing police power. There's a bill that would require body cameras on every police officer in the state. There are measures to restrict chokeholds, to regulate use of force, to eliminate no-knock warrants, to regulate vehicle pursuit, and to restrict the use of tasers by police. With police incidents roiling Atlanta and the world, Democrats say they're all overdue.
The time is now. We cannot go another session without doing something about what is going on in America right now and what has been going on for years.
Those are big subjects.
But it will likely take another legislative session to get it done, says Republican House Speaker David Ralston.
I think are topics that are worthy of discussion, but you certainly don't want to tackle issues like that in haste.
Ralston promised to take up the measures next year. Democrats are hoping to attach their legislation to other bills that have more of a chance of passing in the next 9 legislative days.